Are you interested in going to Special Forces assessment and selection? Are you ready to attend and actually pass selection, get selected, move on to the Q course so you can get to one of the operational groups? If there's any delay or any hint of hesitation in your answer, more than likely you're not. And this is why I come in, guys. If you check out the links below, I have a link to my Patreon, which has a variety of prep courses on there geared towards helping you prep so you could attend and get selected. It's a small price to pay to live a life of either fulfillment or a life of regret. All right? I'll see you guys over at the Patreon. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to do a video about team leaders, about your 18 alphas on a Special Forces ODA. A lot of you guys have been commenting, requesting for this video, so I just wanted to jump on here, put one together for you guys and get it posted. So when it comes to the team leader, so you got to understand exactly what his job is, right? There's the book definition of what the team leader is supposed to do, right? And then there is the no shit true definition of what a 18 alpha is supposed to be doing. Based on my experience, guys, the team leader is there to lead the team, all right? He leads it, but the team sergeant, he runs it. And that's very important because you got to understand that between the team leader, the 18 Zulu, and the 180 Alpha, everybody has their roles. And everybody needs to understand exactly what their roles are. And as soon as that happens, then you can start putting in place all the necessary tools to make sure your team runs smoothly. All right? So again, guys, the 18 Alpha, he leads it. The 18 Zulu runs it. So the 18 Alpha will go see the major and all the other commanders. He'll get his guidance from the company commander as far as, hey, these are what my priorities are, all right? And then he will then take those priorities. He'll sit down with the 18 Zulu. They'll talk about it. They'll hash them out. And then the 18 Zulu will go execute. If your head shed or your headquarters element is all dysfunctional, then more than likely your team is going to be a dysfunctional team, right? It's like when mommy and daddy are fighting, you don't really know who to listen to or whose instructions to follow. So there has to be a united front with your 18 Alpha, your 18 Zulu, and your 180 Alpha, all right? So that's the most important one for the 18 Alphas out there, or the inspiring 18 Alphas. Now, based on my perspective and my experience, these are the advices that I have for your 18 Alphas, all right? So till this day, guys, like I still keep in touch with my old 18 Alphas from when I first came in the group, right? Those guys are like lieutenant colonels right now, still serving, some of them are, and I'm retired. But they were so good at their jobs to where the entire ODA, even though we branched off to do other things, we still kept in touch because essentially we were a family, right? And I've learned a lot of things from those guys when it comes to leadership and also when it comes to being an overall man. So I'm going to share some of the things that I've learned from those guys from a enlisted perspective onto your future team leaders, and you can do with that information whatever you want, essentially. So when it comes to being a team leader, guys, I think the biggest thing is you have to know when to hang out with the dudes and when to leave them alone, right? And this is important because I remember back in 2014, we were on our way back from a rotation in Afghanistan, and we were in Germany, and a bunch of guys went out to a downtown, I can't remember which town we were in, but anyways, they went downtown to go drink and have a good time. And I remember this, it wasn't my team, but it was a sister team. The entire team was there. And I remember seeing them out and about and just, they were having a ball. And I remember looking over there and saying, man, this is going to be a bad night for them because everybody was drunk. There was no voice of reasoning. Their team leader was with them and the entire team was just drunk as shit. All right. Sure enough, wake up in the morning and it's time to fly back. Everyone had a black eye, to include the team leader. So when I say have plausible deniability, you have to give the guys room to breathe. As a team leader, your job is to lead the team. You can't lead them if you're down there doing the same dirt that they're doing. This is how this should work, guys. You go out, you grab dinner with your guys, you have a beer or two, and then you leave them to their own devices. You and the team sergeant and the warrant, you guys go off, do your own thing, let the boys be grown up and let them handle business. You need to separate yourself from the guys. When they're out and about doing whatever it is that they're doing, you don't need to be there as if you're one of the dudes. You got to be able to not let your leadership get compromised. I've seen a lot of guys fail to do this. And this is what you could expect from the dudes, right? When you go to reprimand them. You can't really reprimand them for doing dumb shit when you're down there doing dumb shit with them. So you have to have that separation. So that would be my number one advice to the future team leaders out there. Number two, you have to learn how to stay out of people's crap. You need to know what your job is as a team leader. And when the 18 Zulu's doing his job, you just need to stay out of it. If there's something that's going on that you don't agree with, then there's a time and place for you to pull them off to the side and speak with them and not really bring it up in front of the dudes to essentially compromise his leadership in front of the guys, right? You should be hashing that stuff out in your morning meeting when it's just the three of you guys, or when the day ends and it's just you, him, and the warrant. Keep that in mind, guys. If you don't agree with something, talk off to the side and not essentially in front of the guys. You want to make sure you're presenting a united front. Number three, guys, as far as advice for the future team leaders out there, you have to make sure that you are part of the team. And this is what I mean by that, guys. I understand as a team leader, as an 18 Alpha, you have officer shit to do, right? Whether it's paperwork, whether it's hanging out with the major and everybody else above you that writes your OER, but you have to find time to integrate yourself with the team. So you have to find time to go to the range with them. You have to find time to go out and patrol with them. Like whatever training is going on, whether it's cross training, so on and so forth, you have to find time to integrate yourself with your actual team. Because what you don't want is to always be removed off to meetings and doing all this other crap, and the guys are training, getting after it, and you're that weak link because you're never at training. So now when they're downrange doing work, they got to worry about you because you never came to the training, you never did any of the cross training, and now they got to hold your weight because you're a liability on the battlefield, right? So find a good balance to doing officer shit and then also being a teammate, an SF guy, and training and getting after it. Last but not least, guys, but as a team leader, as a brand new 18 Alpha, don't step in that team room thinking that you are entitled to anything. Keep in mind, even though you're an 18 Alpha, you technically are in charge of the team, you're still a new guy. So you still have to learn just like everyone else. The worst thing you can do is step into that team room and try to get your team gear, whether it's a shirt or a hat, as if you spent the same amount of time as that senior Bravo or that senior Charlie that's been on the team for years. I know it's humbling, but you need to step in there, lead, but also understand that you're a new guy learning with the junior Bravo, the junior Charlie, and everyone else. And as soon as you prove yourself and you earn the trust of those in that actual team, they will then give you the team swag just like they do all the newer guys. But you can't just step in there and try to big dick everybody and start demanding that you get, you know, your team hat and your team shirt and your team coin just because you're the 18 Alpha. It doesn't work like that. You still have to earn the respect of all the senior guys that are on the team and definitely the respect of your 18 Zulu. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. If you have any other points to share with all the future team leaders out there, please leave them in the comment section below, guys. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.